Hey everybody, I'm here today with Akash Sridhar, and we're going to talk a little bit about his recent nomination to the President's List. So I know you're super involved, and I was really impressed as I was reading through. You know, you've got work out of the country, and Ghana, and in India, and I just want to know, from the very beginning, what got you interested in either of these projects?
So initially, in India, we used to take recent trips, usually like every other year since I was like one. I actually had my first birthday in India.
Cool.
And my dad, like, he's always pretty charitable, and he has like a friend in India, and they've always done like these health clinics, and growing up I've always like seen it, and that really inspired me. And also bowls in general. I've been going to bowls since like 6th grade, and I know there's like this quote, it's like compassion, integrity, something like that, and I feel like bowls has really like inspired me to go out and help.
That's good. I mean, the world needs, more people like you. I mean, if, everybody knows if we all did one extra little thing, one more for somebody else, like the world would be a much better place. And so you're super inspiring in terms of what you've done. I mean, the projects are very comprehensive. Each of them on their own could stand alone as a full endeavor. So tell me, start with the Ghana piece. What did you do there?
So we went to Accra. That was the first place we landed, and we really went it into like stages. So the first stage was like an urban hospital, and then the second stage was like the more like village-like, and then the third one was the actual village. And we basically just went in and like helped out, and I didn't really get to do anything until like the last two places, because in the urban place they won't like let a high schooler really do much. So it was mainly like observation and just clinical experience. But in the village we just held a health fair for the villagers. And we basically just took their blood pressures, blood sugars, and we really just educated them on like how to live healthier lives, and like how to malaria is a prevalent thing in Ghana, and we just educated them about like mosquito nets, repellent, and we like gave them like some supplies.
And then, so that's amazing. And then tell me a little bit about the work that you did in India.
So in India, I don't think I just said this in the speech, but it was like another health clinic, but
Okay.
That was after the surveying. So I was under a med student in NIE, it's like National Institute of Epidemiology in India, and it's basically like you go out and survey for HIV and COVID and like really any disease, and then after we survey, I learned like the statistical part and like how they map it out, how they find an origin for a disease, how they find like the concentrations, and like it was like really just like a good experience, and it was like more like I'm taking statistics this year, so it kind of like led me into that. So.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. That's to minimize it, to say it was a good experience. I mean, I think anytime you get out of your own comfort zone and you go and you serve others, you learn more about yourself and about the other cultures that are there. So obviously, you clearly have a penchant for medicine. Is that something that you want to study moving ahead?
Medicine's definitely like my number one choice.
Nice. So, and I know you did something with scrubs, so tell me a little bit about that.
The scrub donation I was volunteering at Baptist, so that's where my dad works. But I was in beaches, like the Baptist beaches, and I was in like I can't recall, but it was like, I think it was like pre-op, and I just did like the beds there, and I saw like they had a lot of scrubs and gowns. So I basically just asked them if they could like donate some, and that I was going to Ghana. And then I also, for the India one, I had to get my lenses like redone yearly, and she basically just told me like, it was like completely off topic. She like told me like they had a lot of lenses, and so I thought like I could go to India and give it to them, since there's like lenses are expensive and like they're just sitting there, so might as well just use them. So that's what I did for that.
I think you learned a really valuable thing that some people don't realize until later, is some of what appears to be really hard to do is actually easy as long as you're willing to ask. And so you were willing to ask about the scrubs. You were willing to ask about the lenses, rather than just assuming that it wasn't an option. And so, I would encourage you. We always talk about the impact that you can have outside of bowls, but this is also an opportunity for you to have an impact in bowls. Is talk to your friends when they're saying, "Oh, it's impossible. That'll never happen." You can say, "No, actually, it's worth it. Just to ask. What's the worst you're going to hear? No, or it doesn't work. Big deal, right?" Super impressive, motivating. Keep up the great work. Continue to have a great year. I can't wait to hear the next things you've got coming up, because I'm sure you're already working on something. But thank you, and thanks to everybody out there for all that you do.